Hello friends, this is Dr. Muhammad Aslam FCA from Pulse Tutorial. In our previous video, we discussed partial least squares, structured equation modeling, PLS-SEM, for partial mediation model building. Today, we will discuss PLS-SEM for full mediation model. Smart PLS3 software is used for today's discussion. Its setup file with license key are provided in our earlier videos. Today's study materials and dataset are provided with the link for your download and use. You can contact us by email, Zoom, or WhatsApp for any further assistance. The PLS-SEM seems hotcake for social science research recently. It has been used widely in latest articles published in high-quality journals such as Web of Science and Scopus. Because it can deal with multiple variables containing multiple indicators or items for factor analysis and regression simultaneously. It is termed as third-generation statistics for social scientists. We emphasize its applicability rather than technicality and use hypothetical theory and dataset for your easy understanding. Let's discuss PLS-SEM full mediation model building and reporting with multiple variables and multiple indicators or items in this example. Say you find from previous literature that research attitude cause impact on organizational performance. It means earlier theory established that more research attitude had direct significant impact on better organizational performance. In addition, there might be any mediating variables like organizational culture, corporate leadership, etc. in between them for indirect significant relationship. It means if we put organizational culture as a mediator between research attitude and organizational performance, then their direct relationship turns into insignificant and indirect relationship becomes significant. This is the sign of full mediation when direct relationship becomes insignificant, whereas indirect relationships are significant. Appropriate references are required for these relationships from previous studies. For example, Aslam et al. 2020 observed these relationships earlier. Now, we want to explore this relationship either to confirm or to reject with Aslam et al. 2020's aforesaid findings by our own research work and dataset. Firstly, we get research attitude as independent variable observed through RA1 to RA5, where RA1 means basic research, RA2 means applied research, and so on up to RA5. Secondly, we get organizational performance as dependent variable observed through OP1 to OP5, where OP1 means in-house performance, OP2 means communication performance, and so on up to OP5. In this model, we will discuss mediating role of third variable between RA and OP. Then thirdly, we add organizational culture as mediating variable observed through OC1 to OC8, whereas OC1 means formal culture, OC2 means supportive culture, and so on up to OC8. In PLS-SEM, variables are referred to constructs that are observed or measured through reflective or formative indicators or items. In this discussion, we make our model through reflective observed indicators like RA1 to RA5, OC1 to OC8, and OP1 to OP5 to represent their respective unobserved constructs, namely RA, OC, and OP. Let's assume our research is based on primary data. After setting the aforesaid indicators for independent and dependent construct, we need to prepare questionnaire for data collection. Here, we use 7-point Likert scale for respondents score. How to entry data in Excel sheet from filled up questionnaires and they are then transferred to CSV format for smart PLS-3 data read are discussed in our previous videos. Hope you have seen the videos and practice those working files for your understanding. Now please open your installed Smart PLS-3 software. Interface will appear like this. Click New Project in the toolbox and name it Full Mediation Model. You will find new created project in this Project Explorer. Here. Double-click its data icon to import data from Full Mediation Model data CSV file provided with this video. We have to double-click here for the data import that we have done earlier. So I am not repeating it. Software will read the data and becomes green, meaning ready for operation, green. With this data set and produce full mediation model data set text. Full mediation model data set text. It will produce a report containing indicators, indicator correlations, and raw file. All 20 indicators, age, gender, RA1 to RA5, OC1 to OC8, OP1 to OP5 are shown serially with no missing data and displaying mean, median, minimum, maximum, standard deviation, excess kurtosis, and skewness. We know that perfect normal distribution contains mean 0, standard deviation 1, skewness 0, kurtosis 3. Acceptable values of skewness fall between -3 and +3, and kurtosis is appropriate from range -10 to +10 when utilizing SEM. Brown 2006. For this reference value, we see that our data are more or less normally distributed, which is a safer side for researcher. Though PLS-SEM doesn't require the normal distribution assumption since it is a non-parametric test. Indicator correlation giving us the primary relationship among them, and raw data file is exactly the same data entered in our earlier Excel file, which is transferred to CSV format. Full mediation model. Mediation analysis will be performed to assess the mediating role of CC between, let us zoom in for a little bit for our convenience. Again, mediation analysis will be performed to assess the mediating role of OC between RA and OP. This analysis covered two effects, namely direct effect and indirect effect. As we all know, total effect equals direct effect plus indirect effect. Now, direct effect. RA to OP. RA to OC. OC to OP. Our first research objective is to find out whether research attitude causes direct effect on organizational performance. Related alternative hypothesis is research attitude causes organizational performance, or this relationship. In the same way, we build up research objective 2, research objective 3, and for mediation, we put research objective 4, where to find out whether organizational culture has a mediating role between research attitude and organizational performance. The related alternative hypothesis is organizational culture has mediating role between research attitude and organizational performance. Let's build our model with this dataset. We need to double click on the figure icon below on our full mediation model project in Project Explorer. It shows full mediation model PLS-SEM like this with an empty canvas. We cut this design for the time being for our convenient because it is only for design. The software bottom left show the indicator. We have selected all these indicators from here and drag it over there. I have shown it in my earlier videos, so I am not reporting. Now we got all the rename and make our model ready to run. First, we prepare structural model to check whether the model is fit for further analysis. If it is fit, then we prepare structural model to find our ultimate research objectives. The relationship among construct with respective significance level. Measurement model. Now we select calculate PLS algorithm, then factor and start calculation. The report is ready. In the path coefficient, we find final result, quality criteria, interim result, and data set. Under these columns, we find outer loadings, construct reliability and validity, discriminant validity, etc. for reporting the following measurement model. In this way, we get figure 1, which we can export by right-clicking here. Okay. Now we got this figure. These two are same. This is the beta coefficient. This is R square value. And these are the factor loadings. Now let's analyze this. From PLS algorithm run 1, we get outer loadings values. We can copy to the clipboard from here. Say it is outer loadings. We can copy to clipboard from here and we can put it all the values to the Excel file like this. I have done it earlier. Outer loadings, reliability and validity, discriminant validity, cross loadings, STMT ratio, R square, direct effect, indirect effect, total effect. All these I have done earlier, so I am not repeating. Now, from this software, we got the Excel value, and from this Excel, we got in our reporting Word file. Now, you see factor loadings. As a part of measurement model evaluation, no items was removed from the analysis because of low factor model as seen in table 1.1. The factor loadings value should be more than 0.60, Japan and Stuart 2005. So we retain all the value. Construct reliability. To test the reliability of the construct, the study used Cronbach alpha, rho alpha, and composite reliability. as demonstrated in table 1.2. Convergent alpha of each construct exceeds 0.7 threshold level. Rho alpha of each construct were between convergent alpha and composite reliability, and all the composite reliability were higher than the recommended value of 0.7. Wasco and Ferraz, 2005. So our decision is construct reliability established. Now construct validity. First convergent validity, then comes discriminant validity. Convergent validity was acceptable because the average variance extracted was over 0.50. Table 131 represents the results for the convergent validity of the construct. It is more than 0.50. So this model convergent validity is established. Now discriminant validity. For discriminant validity, we have to go for Fornal-Lorca criteria, the first criteria. This diagonal value is the italics represent square root of average variance extracted of this value we have calculated. This is the diagonal value. We will find that these values are higher than these values, which is the evidence of discriminant validity according to Fornal-Lorca criteria. Now, again, we'll check the discriminant validity by another criteria, cross-loadings. These are the cross-loadings. We see the respective loadings of the same construct is more than the other construct. So OC1 to OC8 are more for OC than OP or R. So we made it bold and we find that they are bigger. So the discriminant validity is established according to this criteria. Finally, STMT ratio. We got STMT ratio here. And we find it meet the threshold level 0.90. So given the aforesaid calculated values, this model is fit for further analysis towards structural model. Let's go to structural model. For this structural model, we need to go for this figure first, then we go for calculate bootstrapping, complete bootstrapping, 5% significance level two-tailed test, and here bias corrected and accelerated bootstrapping. For partial square, we put path coefficient and then start calculation. It will take a little while to come the report for your understanding. Okay, the report has come. We got bootstrapping 1. This figure is here. For the first, we calculate inner model, path coefficient and p-value, outer model blank, and this is absolute value. So this is the beta coefficient, and in bracket we get the significance level additionally, and our path is highlighted. Now we see that this becomes insignificant and these two are significant. That is the main theme of this figure, which confirms full mediation model. So this figure and this figure is the same. Now let's discuss model quality. It is based on R square. R square value should be more than 0.0, 0.10, and with statistical significance level for predictive capabilities. In this model, we find one R square insignificant and one R square significant. So let's assume this model has predictive capability. With this 10.10, it means 10% variance in organizational culture can be explained by research attitude, whereas this 44.5% variance in organizational performance can be explained by both research attitude and organizational culture. Okay, let's go for path coefficient. This path coefficient table, we get it from here, path coefficient. This is the table of our hypothesis 1, 2, and 3. All these values shows that our alternative hypothesis 1 is rejected, 2 and 3 are accepted. So RA and OP is rejected, RA and to OC and OC to OP is accepted. That means they are significant. So this is the primary evidence of full mediation model. Now, if we go for the specific indirect model, we will find it mathematically. This is our indirect effect, that is our mediation model. These are the values. We see the p-value is significant. It means our indirect path is significant. Our alternative hypothesis H4 is accepted, whereas our direct effect becomes insignificant. So this gives us the decision of full mediation. We know the criteria which is listed down here, 1, 2, and 3. So as per criteria 3, if the direct effect is insignificant and the indirect effect is significant, then it becomes full mediation. So here we got the decision of full mediation. I hope you understand this and you can practice in your research labs. Thanks for your time. Hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you very much.